All right, Black Goose TV family, what's good? Got another reaction video for y'all, and I thought it was only necessary because, you know what I'm saying, Errol Spence was asked a very pivotal question, right? I haven't seen this yet. I haven't seen it, so I don't know how he responds. I don't know if he addresses it directly. I don't even know if the question is even going to be framed the same way that this goddamn title says. You know how this, you know how the world we live in now. You know what I'm saying? You can have a title, but the actual video got nothing to do with the title, right? But I saw this joint on my YouTube feed and I said, hey, man, I want to watch this. I want to see what he says. And I want to see if he alludes to anything that maybe us as boxing fans can take from, shit. Start speculating, start talking, start hoping, all this good shit. Obviously, nothing he's going to say is going to be factual in the sense of he knows what Terence Crawford is going to do. He knows if PBC is even trying to get Terence Crawford. But I'm still goddamn interested because we know one of the biggest fights that we want to see, at least before Errol retires or Terence Crawford retires, is Errol versus Terence. So let's listen to it. Let's get into it. Check out the reaction. Errol Spence, thoughts on Crawford signing with PBC. Possibly, allegedly, we'll see.
Everything happens for a reason. The time now, not doing it because
What kind of food did you take out of your diet, and what kind of stuff did you add to it? And you know LeBron James spends $1 million on his body, right?
yeah, it's coming in that, and it's all a tax write-off too. So why not? So
See how Errol is smart? That's just the type of nigga Errol is. Like, if you want to make the headlines and get people talking, what do you say? I spend $1 million on my body. No one else does. How do you not make headlines, and how do you take away the this illusion of us regular folks seeing athletes and spending a certain amount of money we could never imagine? How do you take that away? Well, you just be honest. Errol's like, well, it's all the tax write-off. So yeah, he's spending $1 million on it, but is he really spending $1 million when it's a tax write-off? And now we're bringing everything back down to earth because, goddamn it, Errol Spence is just a down-to-earth person. I love that about him. Let's go.
me, it was just leaving junk food alone, and sometimes I might eat junk food, sometimes I might eat some candy, and it was great just eating whatever the cook and the chef gave me.
What would you say? What would you say is Ugar's most dangerous weapon? What's the most dangerous thing about Ugar?
I would say his grit. He has a good overhand, and he's a guy that he'll work him a fight.
Are you the quicker fighter? Is he the fighter, the faster fighter?
It's a good point. What was it? I want to believe it was the podcast that it was in. I think it was Monday. I forgot who hopped in here, but he said I'm sorry, I'm forgetting who your YouTube username. I'm sorry because you're part of the Black Goose TV family, so forgive me. But I remember you emphasizing Ugas has a great right hand, especially that overhand right hand. So there's Errol Spence confirming what you had to say, showing you have more boxing knowledge than me. I appreciate you, brother.
This fight,
I don't know.
You said your explanation was simple why you were better than the Danny fight.
Yeah.
But why are you better than the Sean Porter fight as well?
I just feel like I'm better this time around because I wasn't trying to lose, 30, 35 pounds, in a training camp in 8 weeks and, basically bull crapping when I'm not in training camp. Then once I get.
In other words, he has been a lot more serious about his lifestyle outside of actually training camp. Remember, one of the things when it comes to these high-level athletes, longevity comes about when they are workout warriors outside of camp. So a lot of these guys who continue to stay in shape outside of camp has a much better success rate or a longer career in the latter of their years, right? Obviously, because you're taking care of your body. You're never allowing yourself to really just, get completely out of shape, because that is very drastic to the body too. You know what I'm saying? Just stop training after training so intensely for 8 weeks, and you stop training for 2 to 3 months, and all of a sudden you get back into it. Over time, as you get older, your body's going to have trouble adjusting to that. You're going to become more sluggish. It's going to take longer for you to get in shape. So if you can maintain a routine where you're staying in shape year round, I'm not saying boxing shape, but you're training, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you don't have to watch necessarily what you eat, but you're just in the gym, you're running, you're keeping yourself in reasonable shape. So when you go into the actual camp, you've heard it, before from a lot of the greats, like, they will say that when I go into the fight camp, I'm not going in to lose weight. I'm going in to sharpen my tools and get in shape and get in fight shape and make sure that I'm ready for the fight. There's a difference between going into a camp, sharpening your tools, making sure your muscle memory is right, and getting into fight shape, than going into training camp to lose weight. You have to understand that. And some fighters, they deal with the first like 3 or 4 weeks of their camp. They're just trying to lose weight. In the last 4 weeks, now that, they're working on the drills, muscle memory, tools, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what I hear from Errol. Errol's just so goddamn gifted athletically, genetically. He probably never really had to worry about that. But now after, the traumatic experiences he has, as he gets older, he understands the importance of it.
In the training camp, I want to lock in. This time, I was focused all the way through, even when I wasn't in training camp.
There it is. You just said it.
Your strength, how you feel.
Confirm what I said, yo.
I think it just affects everything. How I feel mentally, how I feel physically. Power, speed, just my focus overall.
Have you heard he talk about Terence Crawford?
I don't know nothing about this, man. I'm not president of PBC or nothing like that.
Do you feel like this latest news with the guy overseas makes the Crawford fight harder to make?
What news?
With the MTK?
I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all saw that joint right there. Once again, it happens. You know what I'm saying? You can be in a position where you can get clickbaited. And he said absolutely nothing about Terence Crawford possibly signing with PBC. He don't know nothing about it, but that's Errol Spence just being, Errol Spence. I personally, when he asked that question about MTK, I have an idea what they're talking about, because I remember I reported a while ago about Jamal Herring being kicked out of the Bud Crawford training camp. Not Bud Crawford training camp, but just he was working with Bud Crawford's trainer for a long period of time. And he randomly decided he doesn't want Herring with them anymore. And a lot of that had to do with the MTK ties that Herring had. So I'm not sure where that's coming from. That's a whole different video. I haven't seen any reports necessarily on it, but what do you guys think about the particular video? Drop your comments below. I always like the goddamn video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not part of BlakGooseTV. I love y'all. I'm keeping it a little light today when it comes to the content. I'm not going to overload y'all, but be ready tomorrow. I got a day off tomorrow, early day off. I'm going to hit y'all with all this shit tomorrow. Make sure y'all tune in Saturday. We got Fluence Lounge as always. I appreciate y'all, BlakGooseTV family. Let's keep growing this goddamn channel. Let's keep going to the top. And for all you haters out there who say, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, I appreciate y'all, because goddamn it, you giving me a little bit more clicks. So much love. I'm out. Positivity.